Alcohol Nurses of Australia, Dana, our organising committee, and Indivior, who are supporting this event. It is great to welcome those of you who are joining us here in person and online for those joining us remotely via Zoom. When I checked this week, we had a whole lot of Zoom registrants, including a good number from interstate, which is a nice sign. A link to the recording will be available after the session. May I start with an acknowledgement of country. I acknowledge the traditional owners and protectors of the earth, skies and waters of where we gather today, the peoples of the Kulin Nation. We acknowledge their ancestors who have cared for this land and all the creatures that live upon it for thousands of generations. I also acknowledge that this land was never ceded. We pay our respects to future protectors who are continuing on this path. Thank you. Well, for those of us here in person, it's been a long time, and I may say you haven't aged a bit since seeing you on Zoom, and in fact you're all extremely good looking in real life. And a big hello to those online too. I'm sure you're just as attractive. As most of you will know, due to COVID, today's session is our third attempt, in fact, at putting this on. I would sincerely like to thank all of you for your patience across this year, including our presenters, who are also very patient with us and the constant rescheduling, and the organising committee. I know today's content and speakers will be worth the wait. May I also acknowledge our MCs for today as well, who will be supporting the presenters and presentations. The aim of today's forum is to offer you a variety of AOD presentations, the content of which we hope you can add to your own toolkit. There is an eclectic mix of content from the technical to the practical. Professor Chris Langmead will lead us off with a presentation on developing the next generation of therapeutics for alcohol use disorder. Following Chris, Dr. Nico Clark will discuss the use of long-acting injectables with a complex cohort at the medically supervised injecting room. One of your peers and a highly experienced nurse prac, Eleanor Kitson, will continue the discussion on working with complex patients, also in the context of long-acting injectables, but will broaden things slightly and also offer us an interesting case study. To close out the day, we are pleased to have Dr. Tetiana Rox from the Deakin Food and Mood Centre to talk on diet and mental health and nutrition-based approaches to preventing and treating mental disorders.